Right then, welcome back to a very soggy Virginia International Raceway, and today we're going to have a look at a 20-minute endurance race on the 2008 Ducati 1098R, and well, let's just say this was an absolute, we'll call it a grand disaster. There you go. So you see that in the title. We did 9 laps. Lap 8 was the fastest by far, and yes, please check the description for more info. There's always little nuggets and little bits and bobs in there, and don't forget to subscribe and comment and like and all the usual jazz. If you're just finding Ride 4 or you're a veteran, just share the love and experience and we'll all get faster and better and enjoy the game. So yes, VIR Grand. The first bit of the lap is bog standard VIR. Fast corners, blind corners. I do like this bit from turn 6 onwards. Straight line these kind of lefts and rights, use the curb, little wheelies, and then we go down the back straight, and this bit, oh dearie me, physics engine is definitely shipping some water through here. Hit the curb, the bike gets a little shimmy on. In the race, that fires us off more than once through there. Nail turn 12, little wheelie down the drop, into what, 13? Because American tracks are a bit weird. Yeah, into 13, then into 14, hug that curb, look at that, beautiful, great front end on this bike. Down the back straight, very long back straight. The chicane is not there. So halfway down the back straight, there's normally chicane just here, it's not there. Use the second sets of cones as your braking marker into turn 15, which is now, is this the north or the south course? One or the other, whatever the shorter course is that uses the long back straight. Down the dip, over the brow, left and right, down the hill, don't run too fast, it's off camber, it's nasty. Again, you can drop to first if you want through turn 20, and this is where it gets a bit dodgy. So we're now going to go from south to north or north to south. I could not get this right in the race for love nor money. I couldn't remember where it went, I couldn't work it out. Somehow, during testing, we managed to blag it and just bodge our way through. And yeah, it just turned into what I could only describe as an absolute nightmare. We were off the bike more than we were on the bike. It just didn't go well at all. Back end of the lap, it's all the same hog pen. I've never seen that before. Turn 20, hog pen. Turn 30, sorry, hog pen. Turn 31, and then up and across the line, and yeah, our fastest lap was what, 2:25.405, despite saying invalid lap. I don't know what that was all about, and that puts third, which I was quite happy with. What's that, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths of a second behind the fastest time. That's the setup. Again, rebound is hard. The back end was a little bit soft in hindsight, probably use a bit of a stiffer back end. And the race, oh my god, the race. It was wet. Have all the things to do. Give me a wet circuit on a track I don't really know. The AI fired us off before we'd even managed to get under controls, and then the AI all fell off again, and he nearly lost his head as a road passed. We went to standard mapping because the track was absolutely like glass. It was horrifically slippy. It took us all the way to the back straight on lap 1 before we got anywhere near the other riders. Down in 16th, they were leaving us because we were in standard or normal or whatever mode we were in. We decided to play skittles with all the cones, use the grass for a bit of extra braking, and then tried to go all the way around the outside of another Ducati. You can imagine how well that went, not very. Then we decided a bit more grass tracking because the wets aren't slippery enough on the circuit. And it was just, this was it basically. This was it for the entire race. Just making mistakes, running wide, not having a very good time with it, falling off, flipping it, getting the wobble on, the shakes up through the little snake section. I mean, how we didn't get punted off there, I'm not quite sure. And that's probably the best run through that sequence of corners that we had for the entire 20 minutes. Speaking of race durations, I've just done the first 1 hour race at Cadwell Woodlands on a 2014 R1. That shouldn't be legal. It was absolutely balls out bonkers. It was one of the best races I've ever done. So we'll get through these 3 or 4, we'll get to the end of the cycle and then we'll go again. But yeah, End of lap 1, 15th. No one's going in the pits. The track's slippy. The Ducati's got loads of grunt. It's ripping, absolutely ripping that rear tyre to pieces because the track started to dry out. We managed to get around the outside of another Ducati at the start of lap 2 on the brakes. It didn't really want to stop. She's big and fat and heavy with the fuel. The AI rider decided to try and use a similar tactic to how the French park their cars, a little bit of contact into the corner. We did get them back because we stuffed them up the inside, so that we're up to 14th, and then it was like, right, we've got a plan where we're going to get past, so I just thought, sod it, I'll just try and stuff it up the inside of everyone through this bit because I'm quite quick. The bike feels good, just stay away from the curbs, as we'll see later on, because the grass seemed to hold a little bit of slipperiness in it. Up to this horrible, what is it, turn 9, is that turn 10, 9, 10, is that still 10, 11, so 9, 10, 11, the bike shaking about the bars, round the outside into 12, that was delightful. That will be on the crash and highlights compilation at the end of the week. Down the back straight up to 10th, we're absolutely flying. 7.8 seconds behind the leader. Yeah, this is all going to come crashing down. A little bit of a robust pass to get 9th. The Argentinian rider probably wasn't very happy with that. Think about going up the inside again to get 8th. A little bit ambitious. Think, sod it, we'll do it through 5, and then a little bit of hip and shoulder as well. And now we're down the back straight. Now, I am a very big believer in karma. If you are an arse, karma will return the favour, and karma was waiting. Just through this little sequence of bends, we run onto the grass, we get back on the curb, and we're off and skating towards the barrier of VAS rated knots. That dumped us all the way back down to 11th. We then binned it again before we got onto the back straight. That put us back down to 15th. The rear tyre was absolutely frazzled by this point. It was not enjoying it, regardless of what the tyre temp chart says, regardless of how much tread it's got left. It was not having a good time at all. Every time I got on the gas, she was sliding about. Managed to get past another Ducati into 14th, and then we're into this hateful little transitional bit again. Stuff it around the outside somehow. When there was not another bike there, I could not get through that corner full of no money. When there was a bike there, wait till they brake a bit later and stuff it up the inside. End of lap 3, the track's dry. The AI pit entry strategy is disgusting. We make another 2 places up on the way into the pits. Go for a hard front, medium rear. That was a mistake. I should have gone medium front, soft rear, despite the fact there's only 11 minutes left. We went for a full tank of gas, and we were going to turn it up to full power mode and see what we could get done. Somehow we come out of the pits lower down the places than we went in. Went in 12th, came out in 13th, and back up to 12th because someone's fell off. A little bit different. 48 whole seconds behind the leader. We then do a bit of grass tracking, which probably doesn't help. Down to 14th because the AI riders are going around in pairs for some strange reason. But look at the spread of the field on the map in the bottom left-hand corner. Holy moly, first place is going down the back straight. That is a serious undertaking. Cheeky little overtaking to turn 4 to get us back up to 13th. We've got lining up the Kawasaki in front of us. Remember what I said about the grass holding a bit of slipperiness? That's going to catch us up very, very soon in the next few laps. It's only lap 4, 10 minutes in. It feels like a lot has happened. Up through the horrible snake, decide to cut the corner, don't get a penalty, surprisingly enough. Slick on the rear is not warm, it's almost as slidey as the wet was, as the track is supposedly drying out, despite the fact it says it's wet still in the corner. And then, I don't know quite what went off here, I just couldn't get it stopped, the bike was swinging about all over the place. We did not get a penalty for that. Interesting. End of lap 4, past the pits, we go from 12th to 9th, plus we pass one on the track, so a couple of places in the pits. Look for the braking markers on the left hand side, trail the brake all the way into the corner, dodgy first corner, it's got 5 apexes, absolutely hateful. End of lap 5, through the little sequence of bends, and we run a tiny bit wide, and look at that, get straight off. That hurt. So back down to 12th, look at the front end though, oh, go on. That was absolutely mega. So the setup's good, the setup is quick, it's fast, it just needs someone who's got 4 fingers and a thumb on each hand, not 2 left feet, to get the best out of it. Past the pits again, we make a couple of places at the end of lap 5. How have we only done 5 laps? So much has happened in this race, it's absolutely unbelievable. Into turn 1 again, pushing that front end, trying to get some heat into that hard front tyre, because we shouldn't have gone hard, should have gone medium. Coming through the sequence to go out towards the snake, and we've been it again. And then end of lap 6, I mean, we go from 10th back up to 9th. We were just all over the shop. No matter what we did, we seemed to fall off. I'm not quite sure what I did here. A little bit of grass tracking again. We got plenty of gap to 10th, so we don't have to worry about it. Still 17 seconds behind the leader, and the leader is pitted and filled up with fuel. End of lap 7, we gain another place, and we go up to 8th. But you know what? We're not going to get many more. In fact, we'll probably lose some more, because there's bound to be an accident or two on this last lap, because it's not that I don't like the track, I just don't know it. I didn't adequately prepare. Through the snake one last time. This accident took a long time to arrive. Oh my god. 2 snap wrists, a shattered pelvis, and a missing testicle later. We get back on and crash straight away. Yeah, absolutely mega. So that puts us down in 11th. We try to be clever and go around the outside of the Kawasaki and bin it again. We don't lose any more places, thankfully. We make an absolute haberdashery of it into turn like 19 and run across the grass and get quite a chunky penalty, and then into nobody's favourite chicane. We try and bully the Kawasaki that made us crash before out of the way, but they were a little bit better than we were, and we didn't quite manage to get it done. And then it was just a case of following them through these corners where it's one line, there's no real places to overtake. However, what they got, 15% fuel. You reckon they're going to stick a last lap pit stop in, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But yeah, all in all, a bit of a shambles. We crashed way too much. We're 26 seconds behind the leader. They decided to pit. We nearly lost the front end again, and yeah, not my greatest performance. Oh well. After the Suzuka 12 hours went, not Suzuka, Portimao 12 hours went so well, yeah, we absolutely made a shambles of it. We made a few places up in the people in the pits, but 27.4 seconds behind the leader. Simply not acceptable. So what I did is I went back to the time trial and took loads of pretty pictures. I'll put some of them on Instagram later. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, comment, like and subscribing. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I have plenty over the last 2 weeks. I had a lot more views as well. When I recorded this, we're up at 1,600 odd views for the 48 hours, which is way higher than I normally get. So thank you to everyone for watching, and fingers crossed I will see you next time. Take care, stay safe, peace.